Agriculture is one of the main economic earners for the Caribbean region. It makes up between 7 and 17% of most countries' GDP, according to the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization. But as climate change continues to wreak havoc on the sector and threaten food security, leaders are looking to developed countries to lead from the front and provide finance for climate adaptation in the food sector.
So that the money should reach the communities. All adaptation is local. Remember that. And therefore, if we can't help our people to adapt, if we can't help our communities to adapt, if we can't help our industries and our MSMEs, 78% of the business in the region are MSMEs, medium and small enterprises. If we can't help them to adapt and if we can't negotiate on their behalf, then we have a problem.
While negotiations on climate adaptation have been slow, and no clear indication that more money will be pledged to help vulnerable regions like the Caribbean cope with climate change, Head of Climate Change at the Commonwealth Secretariat believes leaders may have to look within the region for finance.
External financing to support action at country level is not the very sustainable option. Right. See, I think the governments and the subnational governments should integrate climate change adaptation and mitigation into their development planning process, so that the funding that goes into agriculture does have the resilience element integrated into it. That will be the more long-term and sustainable solution, rather than always looking outward to get more financial resources to support this.
With more money being rolled out to build resilience in agriculture, then Mr. Neer says strategies like vertical farming may have to be a priority in the warming world. This coincides with the FAO's projection in November 2023 that several countries in Latin America and the Caribbean will need food assistance as poor weather conditions continue to affect agriculture.
So vertical farming is a low land space utilization kind of an arrangement where you do farming in vertical trays that is stacked one on top of the other. So here the advantage is that you will have year-round production. You're climate agnostic, so obviously you will have controlled climate. Then your water can be recirculated and reused, so the efficiency of water use is there.
In Jamaica, for instance, leaders in the public sector have joined the delegation at COP28 to learn how other countries have been strengthening their agriculture and fisheries sector. I spoke with President of the Caribbean Maritime Institute of Jamaica, Professor Andrew Spencer, at the CARICOM Pavilion about plans to develop open sea farming in Jamaica.
Open sea farming is big business all around the world. It's really just essentially creating a space where individuals can be able to multiply their yield. And we think that if we can get the right kinds of technology and the right kind of research around that, and we get more fisherfolk involved in that, it will mean that this is not just livable. It will mean that it's not just subsistence, but it could be actually a big money maker, for want of a better expression, for the small man in Jamaica.
On December 10, food was on the menu at COP28, and over 150 countries signed the UAE's declaration to bring food to the climate action table. However, the negotiations on agriculture and food systems have stalled. Reporting for Climate Tracker, I'm Kelesha Williams.